My name is Valerie Yeager. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Global Health Systems and Development. I recently finished my doctorate and joined the faculty last July in 2012. I teach 2 courses in the department. The fall course is Introduction to Health Systems Management and Policy. That course is required of all students in the school. It's a core course, and it focuses on everything from how we finance healthcare, how the system is structured, what its levels of quality are, and not just within healthcare, but also within public health and how we provide services through both of those avenues. The course I teach in the spring is Comparative Health Systems, which is a core course for the students in our department. And that course looks at the way systems are structured in various countries, how health reform has taken place in those types of settings that are different than ours, and what elements of each of those systems provide the people in those places. So what brought me to public health was some interest in HIV and AIDS. And I was recently a graduate of an undergraduate program in anthropology, and I was very interested in sort of understanding the experience of people in South Africa in particular. And I went there and I was enrolled in a master's program in writing, focusing on scientific studies. And then I worked in an HIV clinic as a qualitative researcher. The frustrating component was that the physicians continued to want quantitative findings from me, which I wasn't very confident in doing. And I decided when I was finished there that I would do a master's in public health. So when I returned to the US, I enrolled in a public health degree and quickly found that I wanted to work at the policy level. So doing research that might be a little more generalizable, that might explore various policy initiatives and whether or not we're achieving the outcomes we want, and doing work that could potentially inform policy. So though my research slowly evolved away from HIV, I do look at the public health setting. I also look at the healthcare setting. So I look at how systems are structured, how they're financed, and whether or not, whether it's in public health setting or within the healthcare setting, whether or not those things matter to health outcomes or to whatever outcome we're hoping to achieve. I suppose thinking back to what would be most meaningful to students, in terms of my experiences, I found that being involved with faculty was the most useful thing that I could do as a student. It brought me to the table to participate in research, to be able to think, to be able to come up with how we would design a study, how we would get funding, how we write grants, how we write up our study findings, the different journals that you may or may not want to submit your work to. All of those types of things were experiences that were really meaningful to me. I also think that students could benefit from examining the job market when they get started, rather than towards the end when they're about to leave, because that will give an indication of the skills that are necessary and help to guide your choices in courses. So that might mean taking courses that are going to help you figure out how to analyze data, or how to write a grant, or how to be a better writer for our field, and maybe even have writing samples that you may find the job market wants you to submit with your applications. And so I think getting to know your faculty will help. Definitely the letters of support that you're going to ask them for when you finish, but it will also involve you in understanding what we do within public health research, but also within the public health setting.